All right. Good morning, Rich.
Morning, Wayne. How are you? How was your weekend?
It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
If anybody went through that storm Thursday, I had a tree go down, had that cut up. Had a nice young gentleman help me out. He belongs to a firehouse, and he helped chop it up. And
Nice.
a couple other people came over. Mr. Wozlick and his son Ryan came over Sunday and helped drag everything up to the front, except for the big stump parts. But and then we got the tree guy coming to chop it all up in his chipper.
Wow. We had, well, what, as the crow flies, only a couple, 3 miles from you, and we had very dark skies, some thunder, and some rain for maybe 20 minutes. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that people had posted Southern Connecticut Weather was looking for video footage from people that live on Edmond Road to determine whether it was just a microburst or a small tornado. Because of how it came in and the damage that it did real quick. But
Yep.
I never heard any more, so I don't know.
You go down my neighborhood and you'll see at least a dozen trees down.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh, look at it. Bickgood Road. I mean, Edmond Road. A lot of damage happened over there.
Well, Edmond was shut down, right, for a while because they had a big tree across the road.
Yeah. A lot of down lines, everything. I mean,
and then we had a call. I was sitting in Charlene's with Mike and watched the storm go through. And then we had a call, so I had to run back here to get the truck. And I went to the call, and then on the way back to the firehouse, there was a tree down partially covering about half the road down Pleasant River or Pleasant View Street.
Pleasant View, yeah. It was quite a bit. It was just weird how it happened. I mean,
we had hail and everything.
We didn't have any of that. We had rain and thunder. That was it. No hail, no big wind, no tree problems. I don't know. It's just funny.
Yep. So it hit us. Hey,
look who's here.
Look who's here. Right. Da, 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 da.
And the official time is 9:03.
She's the sunshine of our show. Cathy Wozlick.
I didn't hear the bells.
Oh, you didn't? We heard the bells in here.
We heard them. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
He said, "Oh, she just heard the bell. She's on her way now."
Yeah.
The roar of the traffic that I was stuck in.
All that traffic on Ashland Street.
I couldn't hear the bell.
The whole half-mile journey to the studio.
I know. She could have walked quicker. Yeah.
Probably. How are you?
Great.
Good. Just talking about the weekend and the storm Thursday. And
that was fun stuff, huh?
Yeah, we just telling we didn't get nothing more than dark skies, thunder, and rain. That's all we got.
We had some wind through ours, not like his neighborhood.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
Talking about Edmond Road, the damage down through Edmond and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm wondering if they sent anybody to actually survey the damage to see if there was anything official.
Well, so I was just telling Wayne, Southern Connecticut Weather was looking for video from people, like Ring doorbells and stuff like that, to see if they could determine if it was just a microburst or if it was a small tornado. Yeah. I've heard no more, but that's what was out there.
Interesting. That happened so quick too.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting and I was like, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was at home until I got the pictures from my wife. We were sitting in the firehouse after that call. And, and then I'm sitting in the gazebo yesterday watching some TV, relaxing. We had the Memorial Day parade, blah, blah, blah.
Deck's all done.
Folded up the pool cover, finally got that off. Rich Wasserly, Cathy's, better half. And her son Ryan pulled the cover off, and I folded that up yesterday. And then I go in the gazebo, sitting down, and all of a sudden I hear this rip. And I'm like, "What the hell was that?" And I go outside and I look around. And I see about a third of my birch tree just fell over.
Oh, geez!
So it must have been like a very delayed reaction.
Yeah, right.
From what happened Thursday.
Finally caught the right breeze.
Just like that.
Jeez.
Oh my!
It's in the hole. It's in the hole. There you go.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah, it was like a delayed reaction. It was feeling left out from all the other trees that were down in your neighborhood, so it wanted to be in on the action.
Yeah, that was cool on the paper.
Evidently so.
Yeah.
All right.
So how was your weekend?
Busy.
Oh no.
It was actually busy. I did a lot of yard work.
Well, a lot of us did a lot of yard work this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm continuing on the massive journey of my deck.
Oh, yeah.
I know you did a lot of cleanup.
You bought more lumber.
I'm going to buy some more lumber after this show. That's correct.
Never ends.
No, it's just.
That's what I told them. I was like, just redo the whole thing at this point. I said, and
Oh,
chop
my
all the
God.
trees down, then you don't have to worry about any of them falling over again.
Yeah, well, I got some red maples. They're my favorite tree, though, so I'm not going to cut those down. They're not that big enough to do any damage, really.
Well, I mean, they just look prettier when they're standing upright.
Yeah.
Horizontal just isn't it.
Right, yeah. It's just not a good look.
I don't know. A lot of people look prettier when they're standing upright.
Not falling back in chairs.
Yeah, that's right. Not falling back in chairs. Oh, you're a funny person.
Yeah, I know.
Although you found it funny.
Never going to let it go.
No,
Oh,
she
God,
won't.
no,
Yep.
that'll never.
Let's see.
That'll forever
Stan
be etched in
K
memory.
said he had hail on Route 12 in Griswold. Yeah, we had hail too
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
in our neighborhood.
Yeah. I was in my meeting. And I have an air conditioner, like a built-in AC unit that's right behind me in my office at home. And the hail was hitting the outside. And it was so loud that I couldn't even hear my meeting anymore. I'm like, I gotta go.
Oh, I saw people on Facebook holding their hands out and getting hands full. And it's like, we had 15 minutes worth of rain. That was it.
Oh, yeah. No, we had hail where I was too. But
I mean, we're only, as the
not
crow
that
flies,
far,
I was telling
right?
a couple miles right off of 138
Yeah,
off of Bethel
it was
Road.
a short path and it just did
Yeah.
enough damage. I mean, it did
was
a lot
narrow.
of damage.
It was definitely narrow.
In my neighborhood, you just drive around the neighborhood, you can see all the trees that came down.
Yeah.
Bunch of trees or part of the trees came down.
Well, pines are going to be one of the first ones because they're so soft and shallow rooted. So
I couldn't believe how dark it got.
Mm.
Like I'm sitting in my office and I could see it like getting, and I'm like, oh yeah. And we had just talked about that morning on the show. Oh, we're going to be getting storms, you know, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I love storms. And so
until you have to clean up
Except for that one.
And, you know, and I could see it coming out of my window. Like it's getting darker, darker, darker. And I didn't have any lights on in my office.
Turn the lights on.
Because I was like, well, I was in my meeting, so I didn't want to like get up. And so it's getting dark and dark. And next, it's like it was nighttime in my office. And I was whited out on my screen because the glare from my monitors like whited me out, so they couldn't even see me anymore on
not on any of your 12 monitors that you have, and all the spreadsheets.
I only have 3.
Command Central, the walls.
She's looking to get 4 and 5.
I do want to get a 4th one. But,
oh my God!
I need another spreadsheet.
It's almost like NASA in there, you know.
An emergency control center.
There you go, Rich. Here's your EOC.
I was just
You
gonna
know,
say,
there you
there's
go.
his EOC,
You've been
right?
begging for one. Just use your wife's office. There you go.
Right.
His isn't any. He's got like a big curved one that goes on his desk, and he's got another. He's just as bad. But
I can imagine.
yeah.
So landing airplanes on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the big one down, and the other one that fell down yesterday. Same guy who's gonna chip all branches from the pine tree and everything. It's gonna
Luckily,
do
that
the
one was
other
just a branch though from yesterday, right?
It was part of the
good-sized
trunk.
branch.
I
Oh,
mean,
was it?
so the birch was like at 3 or 4 trunks that split. You know, so this was one of them that just fell over. So it wasn't as big of a job.
Yeah.
But I will say thanks to Austin for coming over and taking care of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean that tree was uprooted. I mean that sucker was like right out of the ground.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Couldn't believe it when we went over there. I'm like, oh.
Go down the street, and there was 3 or 4 of them like that, uprooted.
Yep.
Took out the neighbor's fence that keeps the dog in the yard.
Oh, jeez.
So there was some concern about the dog.
Right.
And then
A lot
right
of
next
people
door
have
to her
their
was
dogs.
another
If you saw it on Facebook.
another pine tree uprooted next door to her, and it was just on and on and on. So
Yeah.
tree service people are going to make some money.
Yep. Sure
yeah.
are. Yep.
So let's see what else is going on. We had the Memorial Day parade yesterday. That went down really well.
Yep, that was a nice ceremony yesterday at Fanning Park. And then their little parade down to the bridge, and they have like the wreath and the flower tossing ceremony. And then I think you guys went off and did one in Griswold and one in Voluntown as well after ours. Some of the guys from the firehouse.
Yeah, the real firefighters went.
The real ones?
not us fire police. I had my fun as it was, getting nasty looks and
I'm sure
turning traffic around before the Lisbon Bridge. Lou said,
You made
"You'll be
points.
good
You
at
made
that.
points, huh?
You'll be good at that." Lou says, "I says, yeah, okay." Anyway.
And that drives me nuts because the whole clearly people aren't thinking of what the day
course.
is for. I mean,
They just know they want to go over that bridge.
right? It's the day is a little bit bigger than you at that point, and you needing to go over the damn bridge. So just be inconvenienced for the 10 minutes that it's going to be, and think about all the other people that have been inconvenienced for a lifetime.
Well,
That really irritates me.
It's been communicated. It happens every year. It's not like it's a shock to people, so they ought to know.
Yeah.
And some people are just, how do we get to the other side? Well, go up 395 and get off on the 138 exit or the 201.
Yeah.
They're traveling through here all their lives and they don't know.
So,
and not only that, even if you're not from the area, it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Expect to run into parades.
Of course.
Expect to run into road closures.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter where you go, there's stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, that irritates me so much. Just given what the day is. Oh, so irritating.
Yep. So let's see what else happened.
We had several other calls yesterday too. Yesterday was a busy day. On top of
Yeah,
all
you
of
had-
you had a call during the ceremony.
Had 3 more.
Jeez.
Yeah, there was a medical call at the ceremony.
Yeah, at the ceremony.
And
One of the
then
band members passed out or something like that. Something like that.
And then there were several others after that.
There was 1 or 2 within an hour of each other. I don't know if that must have been happening right after the Voluntown parade. or something.
Maybe. Yeah, it was like later in the afternoon. But
And
there were
then there was another one that I went to about 5 o'clock.
and then there was another one late last night that came in. So the pager, I was like just starting to fall asleep, and the pager goes off, and I'm like, Rich is at work,
Rich
so
is
I
at
have to
work.
grab the pager
Rich
to shut
is-
the damn thing off.
Rich is at work, and it's like, why doesn't he take that damn pager with him, right? Rich, take the damn pager with you. Your wife needs her beauty sleep.
Yeah, right.
Look at her this morning. Oh, my God.
For the 2 nights a
Yeah.
week that she gets to sleep, right?
Right? Yeah. Oh.
So anyway.
You had to interfere with that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So yeah, fun times. But
So break in a little bit and hold this up. This is a big deal next Tuesday.
yeah, it's coming up quick.
Budget vote next Tuesday.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote. And we're pushing for it to pass. We don't want to see any more cuts.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
for 2 budgets. So you have the town budget and the education budget. They're two separate budgets. They're being voted on separately.
Right.
So
Did they put the question on there that if you
don't
whatever
know.
you vote for the school, is it too high or too low?
I don't know if they added that or not.
If they added that, yeah.
I know that was suggested and,
Sure.
and requested. So,
It's
I
been
mean,
on
it
there
makes
before.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's. I mean,
Yeah.
because, yeah, somebody could be voting because they
They
want
don't
it.
think it's high enough.
Right.
Hey,
because
Scott,
maybe
if
they
you're
want more. I
listening,
don't
did you
know.
ever get an answer on that? Scott Davis was here a month or so ago, talk about the budget and everything, and he was going to ask about the question. Look into it anyway.
Yeah, right. It's been there before. It's good
So-
questions to ask.
Yeah. That should
Erica,
just
How do
be
you
kinda
know if you don't?
natural. Right. It should just be
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
like you should
standard
get it.
that puts on.
It's like what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of if they ask a question? They don't want to get the answer or something
I
like
know.
Well,
that?
no, I think it's. I mean, I think the ROVs could probably answer it a little bit better, but I think you have to. It may cost more to put more questions.
I heard it does,
on a ballot.
But how much?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably. I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
You're already
Exactly.
doing a referendum that costs you $5,000.
Right.
Exactly.
$6,000. You
Yeah.
can't
I
If
just
it's
agree.
$500, who cares?
Yeah, I agree. And then, but they also have to have them printed so far in advance
Right.
that if that idea hadn't come up in time
Maybe
for
you
it to
couldn't
be
do it,
printed,
yeah.
maybe it was already past the time where they could have added
Oh, they're
it.
already printed because I did the absentee ballot
Well, I know
last
they've
week.
been printed now, yeah. And is there early voting for a referendum?
I don't think so.
Don't know.
No?
I think
The next early voting
all I
in
know
town
is I was
in
able to do
August.
absentee
Is it?
because I'm going to be out west
Right,
next
yeah.
week. So.
Last I knew, the next early voting was for August. That was at the
Right.
at the primary,
Mm-hmm.
and that was for state senate. I think
Okay.
it was at the state level, something at the state level.
No, I can't keep up the whole early voting.
That's the
thing
next early
just-
voting. Yeah,
It doesn't. It's not.
No,
computing
maybe
yet.
if Jen or I don't think Cindy
Cindy's-
listens to this too much.
I think
but,
sometimes she does.
sometimes she does. Maybe she'll have an answer. Maybe
But-
she'll show up later on. But in any case, June 4th from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the town hall.
what did I see in the paper? Plainfield shot theirs down.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Both?
I
I don't know
They're-
if they do it separate or not, but
Their bylaw or whatever
Plainfield, huh?
requires all 3 to pass. They have 3. They vote on the capital, they vote on the town, and they vote on the school.
Oh, okay.
So if either one of them fails, all 3 of them fail.
Oh, really?
So I think
Oh.
I
And their
think
numbers were
one
very
of the
similar to ours.
one of
That's
the
weird.
three.
Why not just vote on all of them at once then?
You know, it's out there.
Their numbers were real
I think
similar
one
to
of them
ours.
passed and two of them failed or something like that. So I don't. But they've got all kinds of money rolling in.
But there's the
Yeah.
question again: why? Did people not think it was
Right.
high enough, or did they think it was too high?
Yep.
You
And
don't
they
know.
have a lot of, like you said, they have a lot coming in. They have Amazon,
Sure.
even though Amazon's not,
They're still paying their
active.
taxes.
they're still getting the money for
Yep.
it. And they have Uline coming in. I'm sure the
Yeah.
permits alone for that
Sure.
place
Sure.
is,
Yeah.
sure. helping quite a bit.
You know, he's been building a nice
you know-
park in there, mostly with grants.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yeah. They got the grant writer. I mean, they have
Yeah.
a lot. I'd be curious to hear anyone from Plainfield, why they thought it was voted down.
Right.
Okay, so I got a few comments here. Erica says it was great to have the high school band back in the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Davis
They did
is
great.
listening, so watch out what you say
I'm not worried.
about the Board of Finance.
Uh-oh.
What a bunch of great people. He says, I checked and it looks like the question did not get added for this referendum. If it fails and we have to go back, then we will make that part of the motion. My understanding is no early voting
Okay.
in the
That's what I
referendum.
thought.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
right.
there
That's
you
what I
go.
thought.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because
All right, so we got some answers there. Thank you,
Good.
Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
The shell answer man for today.
Yeah, and the band was back in the parade yesterday, and they were great.
And Kevin Cunningham's listening.
They did. Oh, cool. Oh,
And he said the BOE budget failed by 75 votes.
DOE. Okay.
So is that true? All three of them got to go back to the drawing board there, Kevin?
How many total? What was the percentage of voters? I'm wondering how
Maybe
many
he's
came
got
out
that.
for
I don't
them.
know.
Yeah.
Well, if you got that answer too, Kevin, you're
just
listening,
curious, like how many or what
type
was the
that in.
percentage and
Yeah.
all of that? Because we all know people are going to bitch and moan about the budget.
And it's usually a small percentage of voters that determine it.
And you get like 550
Yep.
people that come out to vote, and
Correct.
then the other 12,000 people are out there. My roads suck. And
Yep.
it's like,
It was pretty good. Can you do that again?
yeah, you like that?
Yeah, okay. So anyway, she got some sleep last night.
Ooh, yeah.
Even with the
I
pager
did-
going off.
I did get a
Ooh.
little bit. Xanax is a wonderful thing. Let me tell you.
Kevin, let's see. Scott says, I was told we are allowed to have up to 6 questions
Oh,
Up to
on the
6.
ballot.
Huh.
oh, cool.
So-
So yeah, I think that should just be a standard moving forward.
So here
Just
you go.
Automatic. Put
2
them out
questions
there.
about, do you think the school's too high or
Yep.
the town's too high or low or
Right,
whatever.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Another question about, what do you think about a board of 5 of selectmen? That's 3 questions.
Ah,
You know,
yes.
that should
Plus
be
you got
on
the
there.
2 original on
You
there
know,
about
Right.
the
because
budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that needs to be working. If you want to get
That-
that in
Sure.
there in this
Yeah,
term,
that should have definitely
That should
been
have
on this
been
one.
on.
I don't believe they're
or
going
we
to.
have a different referendum. What a thought.
Yeah. I don't think.
Different referendum on
keep in
different
mind,
questions.
different referendum's going to cost more money.
It's going to cost more money. Oh, my word.
But you also, though, if everyone's coming out to vote, you want it all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
you should
think
have
you'd
it all
want
there.
on one.
Right.
If you want to get
Right.
the people out to vote. I don't know. Somebody, I think I had heard that they had voted on like a 5-person board. I don't know how many years ago, but many
Yeah.
years ago.
Mhm.
And it was voted down. And I'm curious if anybody has the history on that. I'd love to know why it was
No, it's
voted
being-
down
it's
and
being
how
talked
long
about
ago
again.
it was.
And the only comments that were made were discussions with the town attorney to see what they had to do to make that happen. What it was going to take to make that happen.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the attorneys, just in general,
But they weren't
kinda
even talking about
complicate
Going to see the attorney for could be 3 or 4 months. It was no rush. Believe
right.
me.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. So
Like,
Kevin
right.
says, correct. Only 5% of the registered voters came
Yeah.
out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awful.
It's
I'm sure Kevin's not too happy about that. I mean, I don't know what the average is for here. That's probably not different for here.
No, I'm sure ours
So-
is probably the same, if not even a little less. Unfortunately.
And like you said, people are going to complain about this and complain about that.
Mhm.
Let's see.
And then you'll have the people. Well, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it advertised?
Yeah.
Why
So-
wasn't it?
Kevin
Ugh.
says the town charter states for another referendum, we need 25% of voter participation.
Oh,
Tonight we have public participation for comments, and June 3rd will be a town meeting for the 3 questions. So 25% of voter
25%.
turnout.
Wow.
in order to have another referendum.
Yeah,
So they won't have another referendum for this.
So what do you do?
I
Is that part of the town meeting? Then
that's
you said
probably
they're
it's
having
probably
a town
he's going to have
meeting?
to inform people. I'm sure he's pretty good at communicating, so he's probably going to
Interesting.
inform everybody. What a sticky wicket we're in.
That's a lot.
know what I
They
find
only have
interesting?
5%. That's a lot.
I find interesting that they actually have a charter because We don't.
Oh, do you have to always bring that up?
We don't have a charter.
Come on, Cathy,
We
stop
have
it
some-
already.
We have a few
This
ordinances.
is a figment of your imagination. Anyway,
Interesting. Wow.
yeah,
that's
Daryl Nadu, I
25%.
have a name for the show when you are the host, Wayne.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's usually so good with this.
Mailing it in. And it's not
I
with
like
a
it.
Y, Daryl. MALIN. Mailing it in.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, anyway. Thanks for the feedback. Let's see. Kevin says current proposal for total increase is 0.11 increase.
0.11
A
mils?
0.11 mil increase.
And they voted it down?
No.
That's,
What'd they vote on? The BOE?
yeah, but
That was
from what I'm
overall?
reading here, total increase with
Overall.
all three,
0.11 and they shot it down.
0.11 to shut down. We're looking at a 1.47. And that really, if you're looking at it,
That's tight.
it's only a 0.37
Right.
It's tight.
increase
It's tight.
to cover, the expenses.
And
and
actual
everything like that.
increases.
Actual
It's
increases.
not, it's not
yeah.
much.
It's not a
Wow,
lot.
They had a 0.11. It was voted down.
0.11.
Wow.
Yep.
I think they're getting a little. You know what it is? They're getting used to all that tax money coming in,
Sure.
and they want their taxes.
Sure.
They don't want their taxes going up at all. They're
Here's
getting
the,
spoiled
Well, let's face
with
it,
all
they're
that
not
money
going
coming
down.
in. No, I know.
They're not going to go down.
See, Kevin,
but
Kevin's
Kevin
bringing
needs
too
to
much
tell
in.
them. So this is the thing, right?
Spoiling them.
It's the same thing is communicating. And that's if people go and listen. That's if
the
people
other
go
thing.
and listen,
And
right?
if they understand,
There were
it.
16 people at the town meeting when we
Correct.
decided to push the
Correct.
budget
Forward.
to the vote.
Yep.
I wonder how many were watching.
Oh, I
See
don't
how many
know.
views.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Kathy's
look
going to
and
look
see.
into that.
I'm gonna see if I can
She's
find
going to
it.
pull up her spreadsheet and count all the votes and all that
Get out the
stuff.
computer monitors.
Yeah.
Command Central.
So I am actually stunned that it didn't pass with a
0.11.
0.11 increase.
Oh, my word.
With but that is the kind of increase you would expect if you had all that
Sure.
money coming in.
Sure.
Our
Revenue.
Our annual town budget meeting had 69 views on YouTube.
Yeah, but did they watch
Right.
the whole thing?
It doesn't.
So
it
that would
doesn't
tell
break
me.
it
So you had
down.
85 people interested in the future of the town for the next
Yeah, well,
year.
no, not really, because they didn't vote. Only the people that were there
No,
voted. So
but they watched it.
there was 16 people that were
Yeah.
truly concerned.
Yeah. So at
That's-
least they watched it and they
Right.
can see what's
Oh,
being
I
talked
agree.
about.
Yeah,
See,
no.
I think, and that goes back to, I mean, personally, the whole going to town meetings and voting in person from this time to this time. We're
Yep.
having the town meeting at 6:00, and to me, it's such an antiquated way of doing things. It hasn't adjusted to the way of life these days.
Oh, yeah.
There are people. There are definitely people out there that are apathetic and couldn't care less until their taxes go up, and then you hear them bitch.
Where the roads aren't
But-
fixed.
Right.
We're going to
Right.
get on the road subject here in a little bit.
But I think there are a lot of people that would be more involved if it was a bit more conducive to the lifestyle that people have these days, with having to work 2 jobs, working second shift, third shift, kids activities, travel ball, and people just cannot go to these meetings at 6:00.
Hey, I didn't go to hardly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. Till I retired November 1st, I didn't go to many. I heard most of the
No.
town business through my
Yeah.
wife.
I
Yeah.
used to go
She was
when I could.
involved
when I
in the
was
BOE.
working, Yep.
Yep.
So working strange hours or
Mhm.
whatever you're doing. Yeah, because I work nights, I work days. You
Yeah.
I was on call. So, I mean, if
Yep.
know, on call too. So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
so
And
a lot
Rich
of it
the same
is
thing.
people work,
Mhm.
or it's a lot of people travel to Hartford, then they come
Mhm.
home and
Sure.
they don't get home till like 6:30.
Yeah.
And they do that for 4 or 5 days a week. Then they're
Mhm.
tired, and then they got things to do on the weekend.
they
Like
got
you
3
said,
You got
kids,
your
they got
kids,
soccer or
right.
baseball or basketball or
Mhm.
something going on.
but
That's
the
right.
streaming thing is when they do have some time, it's like
Yeah.
the Mike Show.
Yep.
Right. SNSN, you can watch it afterwards. That's
Yeah,
what I
you
use.
can watch
That's
it
what I
for
usually
sure.
do. If I'm not on, I'll watch it. I'm usually at the gym wasting my time because it's not really working.
It's not hurting.
It's not
a
hurting.
good thing. It's
not hurting.
cardiovascular
I
health.
just can't get rid of these 2 inches around my waist, and it's just bugging the hell out of me. I lost my 6-pack abs, and I'm
Dropped to
65
your
years
waist,
old.
right?
What happened to 65 years, no
Now
6-pack
you
abs?
got
What the hell
a
happened?
12-pack waist, right?
So yeah, so it's So you
But,
can
you
always
got an
watch it
iPad,
later.
You're sitting there, making dinner. Stand your iPad
Yeah.
up. At least listen to
I've
it.
done that.
Listen
That's
to
what-
it while
yeah.
you're doing
Yep.
something. Stay informed. That's
Yep.
the big
Oh, wait
thing.
a minute.
I've done it.
Let me correct myself. Kevin just corrected me. He said the current proposal for the total increase is 0.11.
Okay.
The proposal before that they voted on, it was shot down, was a whopping 0.25.
Oh my God.
Oh
Increase.
my God.
Whopping. We're looking at 1.37, which is
4.7.
a little bit of meat on the bone.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's just to cover contract increases
yeah.
Exactly.
and our payments for the senior center and the field.
In the field.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
That's all it's covering.
Just keep things going as they are.
Right.
Yeah, well, the field was talked about because that's another $400 and some thousand dollars
That's a
on
half
the
a
debt
mil right
service,
there.
Yep.
That's a $500,000.
right? And
Yep.
that's going to go on for 10 years because you got to pay that bond off.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
You also in there, you got the senior center bond that's got to get paid off. That's going
Yep.
for 20 years.
Yeah.
We also got the roof repairs for the school. That's going to end up in
I think
another
that's-
year or
Those
two.
are
I was going to say
coming to an
that's
end
coming
pretty
to
soon,
that's
aren't they?
almost
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
coming to an end in
Yeah.
year or
Yep.
two.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that's listed in there that it's public knowledge. I think the public can look into it
Sure.
or at least request
If
that information.
They're
I don't
paying
know, I
for
s-
it. Why not?
I still say let's ditch the Heritage River thing and throw an IKEA over on 164.
So are you going to build
There are a
that building?
couple of
Because it
meetings
might
coming
fall
up on
apart.
that Heritage River thing. I'm really kind of curious
I
what's
know.
coming out.
I know.
Listen, I have my doubts about that thing.
We'll
No,
talk
I do
about
now.
that. So the Heritage Rivers has a couple public meetings at the senior center tomorrow night
Correct.
and next Wednesday
Next
night
week, right?
at the senior center at 6 p.m.
Yep.
So we'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was actually,
watch
and I
the
think
first
both
one.
nights I'm busy. I have another meeting tomorrow night and next Wednesday night.
I'll find out.
So I'm like, "Ugh," and I really want to see. And again,
well, maybe it'll be streamed.
I think it
and
is. I think
recorded.
it is going to be streamed, but it
Yep.
it just frustrates me. Like
Because you can't ask
ugh.
questions. You won't be able to ask questions.
Yeah, and I want to hear. Like I want to feel like the vibe. Like I want to feel what people are. You know how like you can walk in, you can just get a sense of.
Tell if people
where
are
it's
thrilled or if
going.
they're not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to say, personally, several years ago, I was in favor of it when it had first been presented.
Yes.
Okay.
As it was presented
Now it's been
many years
changed, what,
ago.
3 or 4 times? You know?
Now, as it's been
Downgraded.
changed and altered, and it's and I haven't seen the latest, but
Scaled back.
the last one I saw, which was I'd say probably even almost a year ago at this point, I was not impressed and overly thrilled with what it had changed to.
Right.
So I really am interested in seeing what
I went to the Zoom
what
meeting
this
that they
is.
had in the selectman's office upstairs with the developers. And yeah, it's I don't know.
It's
It's a disappointment at this point, I think.
yeah. One, the YMCA, I was on
You're
totally
going to get a
on
child
board
care
with
center.
it.
The rest of it's, well, we'll see.
And that was when they first brought it. I was like, "That's great! This
Yep.
area needs that. That's awesome." And then like, no pool. Well, then why? Well, don't bother.
Well,
Just
the,
don't
well, the pool,
bother.
if you can get like 4 other towns to jump on board with it too.
Oh, Jesus,
Like,
yeah.
who's gonna do
that? And I would say Preston, but they're getting Great Wolf, so they're not going to give a crap about a YMCA.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just.
No, you got to have a pool.
That's the whole
and
point
that's
of
the- and
people
that's the
going to the
third
YMCA.
part.
That's what draws them
And
into
that
Hawaii.
and that should be a referendum.
That's
If
the,
there's a project going in there,
yeah.
and this is what's going in there,
Yep.
let the people speak what they would like to see, or at least have a public meeting. Say, so what do people like to see us
Right.
But
fight
the pool,
for to put
the
something
pool
in there?
portion of
The pool
that
should be-
is the third phase of it all. It's
Yep.
not even, it's the daycares first, up front and foremost. Then
Yep.
the center section, which is the YMCA, which doesn't sound like it's really going to have anything to offer because they mentioned a couple of things like putting Ryan's group in there, but it's all going to be rental space. It's not even going to be, hey, Ryan, just move your people in here.
Yep.
And then the third one was the pool, the possibility of a pool if other towns jumped on board, because I don't know how much the YMCA in Rhode Island has, interest into doing.
Why would other
partnership.
people? Why would other towns need to jump in on that?
Because of the money. It's a lot of money for a pool.
Yeah,
Kevin can tell you from Plainfield, it's a lot of money to run a pool.
I'm sure it is.
Talking
to
about
maintain it
Kevin,
and everything.
we got some
but
more comments from him and Scott.
Aren't they a nonprofit?
Let me get updated on these
Oh,
comments.
I
bro.
know. That's
We're coming in fast and strong here.
Go for it.
Kevin says we advertise in the Norwich Bulletin, Turnpike Buyer, town website, town Facebook, YouTube, Plainfield, Connecticut, Watchdog Media, all kinds. He did just about everything but stand on top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 message board around town, even articles and a bulletin, as well as mentioning budget info on the SNSN radio,
Yeah.
He's still only got 5%.
which everybody listens to on the Eastern Seaboard, and
Even on the Western
5%
seaboard.
Even out in the
voted.
Midwest, yes.
Even out in Utah, and
Yep.
North or South Carolina, yeah. And Scott Davis said when it was first presented, it was nearly all taxable, and he's talking about
Right.
Heritage
It was
River.
more commercial than
Yeah.
anything
That was
with
supposed to
some
be
housing that
a,
would supplement it.
So here's the thing about this,
Like a
and everybody,
community
and even
for
Scott mentioned this to
mental-
me or to
dementia
us.
people,
Yeah.
right?
I said we're worried about them, getting tax deferred or asking for abatements or whatever. We have to start getting. We want to be welcoming,
Of course.
Mhm.
but we can't take it up the shorts
No, you can't give it
as
away.
a town. We can't give it away for nothing.
We need economic development.
Right.
That's it. That, in my opinion, that should be the focus. If it's not majority of it economic development or commercial, then I what do we want it for?
Yeah.
Holy
What
moly.
would be the point of bringing it in?
Got a lot of good discussion here.
Let her rip. Let's hear it.
Kevin says, as public meetings and public hearing are poorly attended with at most 30 people, usually
That's a lot.
five.
That's a lot.
Usually 5 people attend.
At best.
And my experience lately is that it's usually around 5.
And it's the same 5.
It's always the same.
I will
We
say
all-
the budget meetings, though, when we were discussing the budget, there was quite a few that the town hall meeting room was pretty full
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the last several.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and the one that we had at the middle school, that was pretty well attended.
well, they were all fighting for
That-
Ryan.
For Ryan, yeah.
Right, and for
Yep.
youth services and the assistant position, all that stuff.
Yep.
And that's the other thing. If this budget doesn't pass, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
Where are they going to get the cuts? Because they don't have a lot meat in that bun right now.
No.
No, there's nothing
So,
left to cut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cortland, the 5 selectmen proposal in Griswold's pass was a 2-part question. And let's see, shall the selectmen pay be reduced from 12,000 to about 3,000?
That's old.
And part 2 that was during Kevin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
old,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
12,000.
But he's just bringing up
Sure.
the information
Yeah.
we're
Sure.
talking about. And part 2, shall the board be increased to 5 members? First part passed, second part failed. Of course, the first part passed because you
Because you're saving
reduced
money, right?
12,000 to
But-
3,000,
So that was during Kevin's reign that
Right.
that second question was
Mhm.
asked. Okay,
Mhm.
so that was a
and
while
that was
ago.
about 8 years ago. Cortland said.
Any idea why though? Like why people didn't want the 5-person? Like that's what I'm curious as to. Like,
So here's-
was why vote it down?
Did Kevin
then?
get up there and explain to the 30
Right.
people in the audience that went to the town meeting that he might have had? I don't know.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering if maybe people thought, oh, you're going to increase it to 5. That's going to cost so much. It's going to increase our taxes. Like, was it that kind of thing? Or was it another reason why people didn't want it? I'm curious as to the why. And I don't know if
Well,
we
people
know
worry
that.
about taxes to begin with.
Right. And if
But the
you're
other
adding
thing,
2 more
they want a
people-
first selectman to run the town and run the business of the town for $55,000 a year.
I don't think he was
You know,
doing
now
it.
it's 70.
Is it
And you
even
want
up that
you want the
high?
leaders of the town to make decisions on $3,000 a year.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
I know. I don't think it's much higher now.
You
Honestly,
know,
with
you
the
got kids at
first,
McDonald's
second, and
making
third.
more than that a
It's
year.
It's $3,000.
Is
you
it
know,
still second and
making
third is
fries.
still
You want
three?
fries with that?
Still 3.
Making more than $3,000 a year.
Yeah.
And you're asking people running for office and to do that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
$3,000 a year. And they've been going to a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
A lot
All
of
their
meetings.
special meetings and
Oh, there's
everything,
been-
and all
oh my
the
God,
separate
every month
meetings.
there's
with
been a half a dozen special
They
meetings.
have at least three special
Sure.
meetings a week.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yep.
So
And they have other meetings too. It's not
Yep.
just selectmen meetings, you know.
Yep.
But I always look at it this way: the borough, right? Our 1 square mile borough, we have 5 people on our board. We have a warden and 4 burgesses.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah.
for 1 square freaking mile.
square freaking mile. And they pay
You
a
know?
whopping 0.01
Yeah, we had
mill rate
a
increase.
huge
Huge
0.01
0.01.
increase. I think it like comes out to be like a
Yeah.
couple of bucks a year or something.
So Erica says the YMCA is only going to be an interest to the people that live there because it'll be easier than picking their kids up from the youth center.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the youth center
Well,
goes there.
No, if it doesn't go
If
there,
it doesn't go,
if it stays over
Oh,
on
if it stays over here,
Ashland,
okay.
now
Yeah.
that's going to be a competing So now what happens to the youth center and all the programs and everything if the YMCA now competes
I don't think they've
with the
got
youth
anything
center?
to go in up there if they put that YMCA building in. This is why they entertained, they used the youth center moving over there, and there was another group too. I forget what it was, but it was like they have nothing. There's nothing committed to that.
Yeah,
I sat there and watched that whole Zoom with them.
I'm really curious to hear the presentation tomorrow.
Scott Davis
next
says
Wednesday.
maybe we should build the wash bay building there in Heritage River.
With the ARPA funds that we have.
The $1.1 million that we don't have it assigned to. We have to get it assigned to something.
I think it was 1.2.
Actually, Scott, I have an email I'm going to forward to you about the wash basin thing.
We're gonna lose that money.
Kevin says to cut Mike Minarski's salary.
I think the program director.
Well, if you cut his salary, Kevin,
then
Cathy, me, and Rich are going to be owing him money just to walk in here and look like idiots on the radio.
Yeah, we're going to have to pay him to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have took that check that the mail lady delivered the other day and ran, Cathy. But yeah, so Kevin, I'm going to have to come see you once I'm done with the Deck from Hell project and pick your brain about how you're being so goddamn successful up there, and come up with a presentation. You and a couple other selectmen around here, because we have to start getting off the log and go after it. So he wants donuts. I bring him a donut every morning.
Yes,
I pay him more than he pays me. Let's put it that way. Some people think it's a bribe or something, so I come on here and talk like a fool.
Donut and a coffee every day.
Every day.
Yep. Anyway, roads. Let's talk about roads. There's some confusion about roads out there.
Sure
There's
is.
some anxiety or angst or what's the word I'm looking for? Frustration, about what's going on. Now, I'm going to have Rich speak first because he talked to Todd about this a week or two ago. Yep. So, Rich, tell us what you found out about the roads and why they're doing the borough roads.
So there's been a conversation started on Griswold Now from some people that live up in Latham. And there's been a lot of conversation about Latham, the condition of Latham. So as the conversation went on, somebody made a comment that the money for Latham, because Latham got started and then it stopped, everybody bailed out. What happened? So a conversation, got started somewhere else where somebody stated that the money from Latham got redirected over to the borough roads. So to put that fire out, I spoke to Todd Babbitt at the Board of Finance meeting last week. And it was made clear that the borough roads that are being done or are done at this point were paid pretty much mostly by Eversource, because they came through and dug everything up when they did the gas lines, and it's their responsibility to restore those roads. So it costs the town, the borough, however you want to look at it, very little money to do those roads in the borough. Yep. Latham got pushed off till after Memorial Day, Todd said, and he had it scheduled with the asphalt plant for the week of June 3rd.
Next week.
Right, next week. So Latham is getting done next week, weather being good and all. They are narrowing the road up 6 feet. People are complaining about a storm drain that's now out in the middle of the road. It's not off on the side where it used to be. Todd said the road is 30 feet wide. It doesn't need to be 30 feet wide. They're cutting it down to 24. They can still get emergency vehicles in there and do whatever they have to do with a 24-foot wide road. So 6 feet of pavement times however long it's going to be saves a lot of money and allows them to go further with other things. So Latham is on the schedule with the town, with the paver, with the asphalt company, starting next week, the week of June 3rd.
Ah, good.
And what'd you hear, Miss Burgess? You heard something similar from the borough meeting, right?
Yeah. Well, I knew, being part of the borough, that I knew that those roads were not being paid 100% by taxpayers. I knew that Eversource was heavily subsidizing the roads. So Lori Sorter was very good. People were, of course, complaining on Facebook.
Oh, she had a lot of information out there every day.
And she was so good. She's so good on Facebook. Yep. When people complain about things, yep, she's right on it, giving them, the facts, like, sorry, I understand. Because you have to realize that she's a borough resident.
As
We're all,
well.
we're all borough residents, that those of us that sit on the board. So we're feeling it too. Like we get it. But she was so good. Anytime anyone had a complaint, I had a couple people reach out to me through Facebook Messenger, with some concerns about their roads that were being dug up and the holes and, stuff like that. And I sent them to her. And she was immediately like, "Yep, I already talked to them. They're good. We're all set. I've talked to Todd. She was so just right in the middle of all of it, trying to keep everybody as happy as possible while the roads were being done. And of course, there were some inconveniences, but I think I saw her last post that they were all done. They were all, I believe
they
done.
are.
Well, I'll tell you what, I went on a few calls
So,
in the last week. And some of them were down Talcott and Palmer and Brown and actually Soul Street. So a lot of the roads have been done. They're a lot better shape now. And some of them did need some work. But I know that there's a lot of talk about the Latham Road last year.
Sure.
Todd gave one of the ladies a very good explanation of what the deal is there. And now I did take a ride down the road and saw the drainage pipe and the everything pushed off to the side. Backhoe was staged there and all that stuff. So they're utilizing the funds and the support from Eversource now to get the borough done, and now they can focus on Latham.
Yeah. And you said June 3rd, the week of June 3rd, they're over in Latham.
Yeah. And the worst part is don't take your concerns to Facebook. You're not going to get your answers there. The people that have the answers aren't on Facebook.
Right.
Go to a meeting, pick up the phone and call them. They'll tell you. They will talk to you.
Yep.
It just gets so out of control.
Tina's been pretty good getting back.
Todd
she may not get back in 5 minutes, but
Tina
will
give you answers. She answers her phone.
She will get back to you as fast as she can.
Exactly.
I mean, she does not wait for anything. She wants to address stuff. She doesn't like things kind of lingering. She's very good at getting back. She may not have an answer, but she'll get back to you and say, "Hey, listen, I don't know, but I'm going to reach out to this person. I'll get back to you by this time." And she will get back to you.
Right.
Yep. She's very good about that.
Good. So
the Latham folks.
So that's the deal with the roads.
Latham's coming.
It's coming.
Speedway, racetrack, whatever you want to call it. You're probably going to hate life after it gets paved.
But they're going to hate life while it's getting done because they're going to be shutting down part of the road.
And it's going to be dug up.
But the thing is they're going to be doing the main road. Have you gone down some of those side roads?
Oh,
privately owned.
I don't even know.
Some of them are private.
They're
Some
private.
of them are
it's like dirt driveways. Dirt driveways.
Yeah.
Yep.
As I don't know if a emergency vehicle can get. I know maybe the service truck can get down there, but I don't know if the pumper trucks or the ladder truck can get down there.
One of the meetings, I forget who brought. I think Todd brought it up that they went. They actually, I don't know if they took a truck down there or something, but they said they can maneuver. Wow. So as tight as it is, I guess they can do what they need to do.
Yes, and I see a lot of backing up happening.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
When I went around door knocking last year, I went down some of the roads, and I just about had to go on a 4-wheel drive on some of those roads because the holes got some bad potholes on some of those roads.
In the Facebook conversation that was going on down there, somebody put up a picture of, I don't know how old this thing was, but it was basically a sheet that had residents' names and how much money they each donated to hire somebody to bring in stone or gravel or whatever and redo those private roads. I mean, unfortunately, there's a volunteer association down there that hardly ever meets. So there's no conversation with them. Yeah. There's no schedule for meetings with them. I've heard it all, and it's like, I feel bad for them, but maybe it's private. And I don't know.
Form a different,
well, you could never get the town to own them roads either. I mean, that's unfortunate. Yeah. But, they're your roads. I mean, you got to do something.
Yeah.
But they pay taxes like everybody else.
Of course, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I can imagine it's frustrating. I'd be frustrated if I was living there.
Yeah. It looks like the comments have dried up. Got any more?
Because they're like roads.
So roads. Nobody wants to talk about roads.
No.
All right. So What's next that we want to talk about? Anybody else got anything else you want to talk about?
What else we got going on this week? It's a short week, so that's nice.
Yeah, so no show tomorrow.
Not that you guys would know because you're all retired.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I'm sure you guys can't even remember which day it
I've been
is.
out. I've been out golfing twice this year so far with all the projects and everything else going on.
Do you find yourselves busier now than you were when you were working?
At times, yeah.
So I was talking to my neighbor, and this was after the storm or Saturday or Sunday, and he had a part of a tree fall down too, and talking about he retired in January. And I asked him, I said, so how'd we get all this stuff done when we were working?
My father used to say that, and I never understood it. When he retired, and he would say, I don't know how I managed to get everything done and work a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I just never could wrap my head around
like,
that.
what do you mean? You have all this time.
Retire and you'll find out. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to make these doctor's appointments at 4:30 so you don't have to take time off from work, which now cuts into your lawn mowing time and, changing the oil on the car time. And now you got Saturday and Sunday to do things. And, you can relate.
Yep.
But honestly, it's nice to know that if you want to screw off one day, you can do it.
Okay, so Paul Ash.
Oh.
The old man of the show.
Uh-oh.
Paul's watching?
Yeah, the only YMCA piece being proposed is daycare, he says.
That's
really?
Correct.
That's it?
That's correct.
Yeah. So, and he's on EDC. He ought to know.
So, which leads me to believe that, and again, it's been a while since I've seen the latest Heritage River plan, but which leads me to believe that the Heritage River is going to be mostly housing. Geared toward young families, single moms,
working people,
right, that sort of thing that need
affordable homes, affordable housing,
that need childcare, rather than commercial.
Two buildings with seniors, I believe, right?
I had heard that. I don't know what the latest is.
Still on the table
I think
or not,
the mental health thing shrunk a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was like
that was supposed to be a whole community.
Yeah,
for what I won't say dementia, but Alzheimer's or something, right?
I think it was both.
Something like that. And there's supposed to be a river walk thing too, or something.
I will tell you what, we will have more information on that Friday morning.
Yeah, well, right. Well,
because we'll have.
Are we doing a show
morning, Thursday morning?
Of course we are.
I am so confused. Those text messages.
I try to put it. Listen, I put out one, and then everybody's confused.
Oh my God! You need a spreadsheet, and I was going to make one and put down all the days and all the people, and put down an X and where who's going to be and where.
You can have the information Thursday morning because there's a meeting tomorrow night.
That's what I was thinking.
You might find something tomorrow night.
I mean,
so Thursday we do have a show, and it's called Psychic Thursday.
We're still doing it.
Okay, right. We're still doing
am I doing that one?
I asked Lisa last week. Don't forget, we're doing next week, and you're on with me. It went so well last week. It was pretty funny.
Okay. I just want to be sure because I got to the point where I'm reading them all and I'm like,
because I always ask who's available when. You said Tuesday, Thursday. So, okay, so I got Cathy for Tuesday, Thursday. And Rich said, as soon as I find out about jury duty, I'll be there. So we found out about jury duty. He's here.
Oh, okay, good.
And Friday, I've got Rich.
Thank God.
Your husband.
Oh, this Friday?
And myself, yes.
No way. Okay.
He said he was available.
Yeah, I'm gone Thursday, and I won't be back till Monday afternoon. So just to make that clear.
So that's what we got for this week on the shows. Next week's going to be a bit of a hassle because I'm out of here.
You're out.
So
Mike's out of here.
We got to rely on Mr. Waslick.
So Waslick's on nights.
He's on midnights. How's he doing that?
He's on nights.
I don't know.
When I talk to him, he might be able to do Tuesday. He can't do Monday.
How the hell is he going to do Tuesday?
Yeah, well, people are getting bored of listening to this nonsense, but we'll straighten it out. But there is no show tomorrow.
Home at 7:30 in the morning.
And we got Psychic Thursday. And then what we find out Wednesday night, we can talk about on Friday with Rich. And I don't know if you're available, Cathy. But we
for which day now?
Friday.
Next Friday?
This Friday.
This Friday.
Got both the Waslicks in here?
No, this Friday I have. Wait a minute. What is this Friday? The 31st?
Two phones.
24th. What is this Friday?
31st. It's the benefit dinner night. 31st.
Am I going to the benefit? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my God. See, if I don't have it on my calendar in front of me, I don't know what's going on.
Firemen's, the fire department, June City Fire Department benefit
our banquet,
night.
Yeah. So
and she is the captain auxiliary person.
Oh my God.
For the fire department. But anyway.
So Friday, no, I have a meeting at 9. but that's the one that sometimes
Yeah.
gets canceled at the last second. So if it gets canceled, I can come in. But
And I've got Tina Falk coming in, although she just texted me. I haven't read it yet, but I don't know. She was going to do an update on the budget, maybe do a
good.
few more updates on what's going on with the town.
Good.
And I'll have more information about that. Let's see.
I don't know what I'm wearing Friday night.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to start working on that.
Let's see. Erica says Griswold High School baseball first states game is today at home.
Oh, nice.
Starts at 3:30.
Cool. Yep. Good luck, Wolverines.
And Mike's out of town, so he won't be streaming it, unfortunately.
No.
Rachel Taylor says, y'all have it under control.
We'll figure it
I'm
out.
glad it looks like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Chaos.
You're right. It's organized chaos.
Yeah. This is called Chaos and Coffee in the Morning
Chaos and coffee.
with Malin, Waslick, and Canova.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul's asking, is there a show Monday? Right now, Paul, it doesn't look good. We don't have anybody that can run the show.
You won't be here. Mike won't be here. Rich is sleeping.
Yeah. So probably more likely, unless Cathy can. Cathy's a smart person. She can figure it out. If I can do it, Cathy can do it. But that's up there if she can make it or not.
The June 3rd. What am I going to do? Come in by myself?
Oh, Paul would come in.
Paul will come in. Yeah.
And then Mike sends me a text that he's got somebody coming in to talk about his fundraiser, bicycle ride fundraiser.
Oh, Steve Ziba, the mailman.
Do you want to hear something funny about that?
What?
Last night, Nick, my son, the entrepreneur that he is, he goes, oh, Mom, Mike's having that guy on the bike come in. He was like, I'm sponsoring him. And I'm like, you're doing what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm trying to get a hold of him. He's like, if you have, he won't respond to my emails or my texts. And he's like, I'm trying to give him money to sponsor him. And I'm like, Nick,
That's for Project Pin.
I have no idea. I didn't know anything about it.
So really, if
My
Kathy can't do a show Monday, Paul,
over it.
we're not
Project
doing a
Pin
show.
in Plainfield. He's
Okay.
He's riding from the Canadian border home.
Down,
Yep.
yeah. Well, Nick was all about it. He was
Yep.
like, I want to sponsor him. So I thought that was funny. And I'm
So
like,
I
how
will
do you
be
even know
sitting in
about
the
it?
airport Monday morning, and Mike is going to be sucking down an upside down pineapple drink on his ship, on his cruise. So, and Rich will be sleeping.
Yep.
So,
And I'll be working.
And Kathy's working, so it doesn't look like
Yeah.
it. And I guess I'm going to have to talk to Mr. Steve there on the bicycle ride, and
And when is that? What day is that?
Monday. I guess I'll
The
have to
3rd?
contact him. The
Really?
3rd.
Oh, so he's supposed to
I
come in
believe
for that?
he's on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, Mike set up something that we weren't even ready to do.
We weren't even here for.
I believe he's on Facebook. Or go to the post office.
That's what happens when he doesn't get his
Oh,
donut
yeah.
every day.
Oh, see, I don't have him for I have Barb for my mail
Yeah.
person.
So he
Huh,
does
okay.
the mail in
I'm
bar
sure-
Well, he
somewhere.
sent
Sure, I've
me.
seen him around.
I think he sent me a link to his contact information, so I'll give him a call. Maybe he can move it to Tuesday if Rich is willing to come in and do the show with you.
I can do Tuesday,
And you can do Tuesday.
the
Okay.
4th. Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
Tuesday the 4th.
Tuesday's not a problem.
Yeah, I can do
All right.
that.
We'll figure it out ourselves. So let's talk about something that people are interested in.
Like what?
Board of Selectmen meeting tonight.
Oh yeah, people are very interested in that.
Yeah, they're going to talk about Heritage River,
Full
which we're going to
house.
get a more of an in-depth thing tomorrow night. But they're talking
Mhm.
about that, talking about some other things. A couple special meetings today.
Are there? I haven't even looked at the.
Rich and I
there's
just looked
one this
at it
morning,
before you
one
came
tonight,
in.
But they got executive sessions attached
Oh,
to
okay,
them. It's
gotcha.
all
So there's
about
nothing you
a
can.
real estate transaction. And
Oh, it might be for the old alt school, maybe, or is that done?
That's
that was
done.
pretty
That's
much done.
Okay,
It's
Yeah.
done.
It's,
I don't know.
today at 10 o'clock was a discussion and possible action on Route 164 infrastructure.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
so because they're supposed to be putting shovels in the ground this week, next
Yeah, I
week,
think
This
so.
week.
this week, I think,
This week.
right?
Yeah.
For the sewer,
They were
or
talking
for the
Sewer.
water,
Sewer.
sewer,
Sewer,
Sewer
And then the
first, water
by the
second.
end of the summer,
I
right?
don't know where the tower thing is. Maybe Tina, you can tell us a little bit more about that on Friday. And then
Yeah, there's not a whole lot on the
let's see. She's
agenda for tonight's meeting, but there is a meeting tonight.
Let me see what she sent me in a text.
Yeah, shovels in the ground. That'll be
so-
exciting.
Oh, she said,
Finally.
"Go pound sand, Malin." No, she said,
You're
"Good
bothering
morning."
me.
She's looking to see if we can do 10 a.m. So maybe we'll start at 9:30 on Friday. And she has a ribbon cutting for the alt school.
What?
at the school at 9. A ribbon cutting. Oh, you know what it is? It's for the new playground, I think.
Oh, because I'm like,
My wife told me
I
about
was
that.
like,
I think there's a
hear
ribbon
about
cutting.
ribbon cutting for the alt school.
The TV. There's supposed
Soul
to be
Street
one for that.
Academy.
Yeah, Soul
Not
Street
the,
Academy.
not the alt school. Soul Street
I
Academy.
don't think it's that. I think
Okay.
it's the
The TVCCA playground.
TVCCA little playground they put up there for the toddlers and stuff
Mhm.
like that, which is
You know
kind of
what?
cute.
It'll be really nice too. Is we had an Eagle Scout come in and present to us one of his projects.
And my wife says, "No, it's pre-K playground, stupid."
But there's an Eagle Scout that's doing another project there too. He's going to put in, oh my gosh, what was it? He was going to try to put in seating, but there was something else he was doing. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But very well spoken young man coming in doing a project there as well. And I think he said that he was hoping to have it done by the end of summer.
Yeah.
Fundraising and everything. And
I'm going to tell you what, I've been going to a lot of the BOE meetings and stuff like that. And there's a lot of good things happening at the school. There's a lot of awards and stuff given out to, and even the kids that report out.
I love
the
listening
school
to them.
report outs for the elementary, the middle school, and the high school.
The young ones that come up and talk, they're just so stinking cute.
Yep.
They give their updates.
And I
everything.
Hats off for standing up in front of a bunch of people and
Sure.
reporting out on the status of what's going on in their schools is great.
They don't seem nervous or anything.
There's
there's some of that, but
you can't tell. They're so good. They're just
a lot of good.
I mean, the ones
thinking going on.
The ones from at the senior
at every level
at the high school
from the superintendent right on down.
It look like they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Right. So so they're not as nervous, but the ones in elementary school and stuff like that.
Yeah, they get a little shaky. The voice is a little shaky, but
That's
it's so
okay.
stinking cute. I love listening to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you could tell
they
they
turn
work
red,
so
they
hard.
pass out, you know.
Oh gosh, no, we haven't had that happen. But it's
when they get put up on that big stage, right?
I love listening to them come up and give
because they tell the truth.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. They don't lie.
The one kid that brought up the project, that was the Boy Scout. Right?
Yeah, he was an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, he this is like his last thing to do to get his promotion or whatever it is.
Yep. And I forget the entire project, but I know he said if there was like leftover money from the funds he was raising, he was going to try to put in like a picnic table or some kind of seating or something.
Right. So it's a Gaga ball pit.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes.
The Board of Education chair just told me that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And
it's good to know.
She also said that it's an amazing. Oh, Erica says it's an amazing playground. It is. And as a matter of fact, what the funny thing is my daughter drops our oldest granddaughter off at school, and the youngest is crying. She wants to get out and play in the playground because Papa took her to the other playground during the weekend or something. Like it was a couple weekends ago. And ever since then, she wants to get out of the car and go play in the playground.
Of course.
Good.
Why wouldn't she?
Yeah, sure.
And the Board of Ed chair also says the pre-K playground was a grant that TVCCA did. It is adorable, and it will be available for the community to use after this Friday when the ribbon cutting's done.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's where
Awesome.
Tina's going to be. So we'll probably do the Friday show a little later. So Tina can come in and talk about some town stuff and any questions people may have. And no, I don't hold any grudges that she kicked my butt in the election. That was all good.
Jesus.
So
let it go.
it is. Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, yeah. Suck it up, Buttercup. I heard that yesterday.
Yeah. My
That was
daughter,
funny.
she's like, my allergies are acting up. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, I'll get you some Zyrtec. Well, it's not going to help me now. And I'm like, well, you know what'll help you now? Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. Well, I was standing there watching
Right
this,
behind me.
this
The
conversation, and I almost said something to the fact, it's going to be different in the Air Force.
Yeah, right. I know.
Yeah,
I don't know how she's.
Well, she's still
Did
talking about
she
that.
sign yet?
She hasn't said anything lately.
No.
So, well, what was funny was too. So she works at Panera, and of course she's texting me when she was on break. She's like, "Oh my god, this place." She's she's a teenage girl, so everything's drama. And she's like, "Oh my god, I don't like working here, and they treat us like crap, and I don't." Blah, blah, blah. And she just and the whole time I'm thinking like, if you're like having a rough time at Panera, boot camp's gonna be a bitch. Like you are not gonna handle.
Somebody told me that boot
camp.
camp's not like what it was when I went through.
I'm sure it's.
I
Probably,
got a DVD from when my son went in the Army. If you'd like to watch it, I wouldn't want to go through it.
Yeah. No, it was an experience. It makes you grow up fast. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she does follow through with it, but
I think the
don't know.
funniest
Like I
part
said,
was sending them
it's
through what do they call it? The smokehouse or the gas
gas
house.
chamber.
Yeah. And then they rip your mask off. I mean, you just can't believe how much stuff can run out of your nose, the cough and the hack. And oh my God.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a nephew who was in the Marines
Mhm.
and he went through that. And
Sure.
when he came out of boot camp, we're like, what was it like? What'd you have to do? What, you know? And he said the best part was the gas chamber. He said he had been looking forward to that the whole time. And he's like, he went in there and he was like, yeah.
I don't think my son had a clue, but he found out.
Oh yeah, no, he had been looking forward to it, and he said it was as awful
Yep.
as he expected it to be. But he said it was the best part. He loved it.
It was different
like,
being.
yeah,
So we
you're a
had
Marine.
different stuff in the Navy. So we had to take care of pipes blowing out,
Sure.
Yeah.
patching pipes for flooding
Sure.
on ships and submarines because you don't want water in the people tank.
Nope, in the people tank.
In the people tank. No, that's not bad. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're on a submarine, you really don't want that when you're underwater.
Yeah. Nope.
So we had to do a lot of figure out how to patch pipes real
Mm.
quick, yada yada yada. So we got soaked. We had high pressure water in our faces and our bodies,
Oh God.
and see what else we had to do. We had
Did you
to
have to,
learn how to
swim,
swim
Hold your breath
and
and
turn
all that?
our take our jeans off and turn them into flotation devices and things like that. That was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So we ended up. So there's different stuff for the Navy guys to
Sure.
do because you're out in the
Yeah,
bodies of
you're
water.
in a
right?
different environment.
Right. Yeah.
My son, I think he enjoyed the hell out of shooting big guns.
Oh,
You know,
sure
I mean,
he did.
he thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we didn't get trained on guns, and they used to do that in the old days, I guess, train on guns. But you're not going to be shooting guns
Mm-mm.
with metal all
No,
over you.
you're shooting torpedoes,
No.
right?
You're shooting
No.
big stuff.
Yeah.
The only ones that get trained on guns and handguns are the topside watches and stuff.
But I can tell you right now, outside the barracks at his basics, in the sidewalk was this big, I don't know what it was. I forget what they call it, but it was a big, an army, whatever it was, embedded in the cement. And if any of the recruits step on that and the drill sergeant catches them, it's a quick 50.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like you stay off of that. And my wife stepped on it. We didn't know. He made my son do push-ups. Yep. It was funny. All I could do was laugh. And he's in his dress uniform doing push-ups. It wasn't even, this was, for basic graduation, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, your daughter's got.
That's yay. Well, hopefully she's not listening.
Well, it's.
I'm sure the Air Force is a little lighter
It's
than that.
probably a little different, but
Sure.
but still, I mean, it's still boot
Yeah.
camp. I'm sure it's not
You get
pleasant.
your drill instructors.
Guess
you
what?
don't know
Mom
who
is
you get.
not here to help you out.
Mhm.
That's right.
And
You
to
know,
get you Zyrtec
it
when your
says the
allergies
chief
are acting up.
or the
Climb
staff
out the
sergeant
windows at
or
night to
whatever
run to the
says,
commissary to
your
get
mom
my
is not here.
Yeah.
I'm your mama now. That's about
Yeah.
it. So
Oh,
here
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, see, she does have a friend that did sign for the Air Force. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be leaving at the end of summer in
Wow.
August.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm like,
Well.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes it helps to do a buddy thing,
It was not. When I joined, I had second thoughts, but it was not a bad decision.
No.
No,
So,
in the
as far as
long
I'm
run,
concerned,
I mean,
long
and
run.
boot
You can't
camp's
quit.
what, 8 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks, 8 weeks?
It was
I
8
mean,
weeks.
So and I'm sure while you're going through it, it probably feels like it's never going to end, but 8 weeks.
If you don't do the right thing, sometimes it never ends.
Yeah.
They set you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
recycle
can't
people.
imagine.
Oh,
Yeah, they
That's-
set you back.
That's gotta suck. But I mean, 8 weeks in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's.
Hope you can run
Yeah.
because you will run.
Yeah.
You will hike.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Hey, Rachel's got a couple comments. Is after we talked about all the confusion about the show, I guess she goes, after this, everyone needs a big raise.
Another zero added.
Another
to the
zero
end.
added to
Right.
zero. There we
Yeah,
go.
Add a zero onto the end of our
Yeah.
paychecks.
And then she's
many
asking if
zeros,
I was a
it's not even
submariner. I said, yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was a nuke. So we were pushing the boat most of the time.
Pushing it?
Yeah.
What do you mean pushing it?
We provide propulsion.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, never mind. You don't even want to know what was
Oh,
in
yeah.
my head.
ET?
All I'm picturing are like little
Huh?
sub.
Oh, you ET, MM?
I was an electrician, mate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you said pushing the boat, in my head, I immediately went
no.
to like these little tugboat
Yeah,
looking subs.
he's got his
and
flippers
that
on.
were
He's
like
back there.
pushing
He's
it, or I'm like, what?
like a dolphin.
Oh my God. See what I got to deal with,
He was putting
people.
the flippers on the back of
See
the
what I got to
subs.
deal with. Nope.
Oh God.
Anyway, anybody else got anything to add? I mean, I think we're past due.
Yeah.
So
I still didn't hear the bells. Am I just completely
I don't think I heard the 10
ignoring,
o'clock ones, did it? No.
No.
we were so enwrapped in all our
Oh, you would've heard
conversation
them.
here.
Yeah, I don't.
So anyway, I hope we provide some information to everybody out there this morning. I had a few laughs, and no show tomorrow.
No
We'll be
show.
back Thursday for Psychic Thursday with Cathy and myself. Rich is leaving town,
I need to put that in my
Leaving
calendar.
state.
and then Friday I'll be on with Rich at 9:30, a little later, so Tina can join us after her ribbon cutting ceremony up at the pre-K playground. And
You're going to
That-
put all this in a spreadsheet, right?
I
so I
sent
can
a
keep
text,
it all straight.
and I go day by day.
I know, but then everything.
know,
Then there were like 100 texts
you know,
after that with things changing.
And nothing was.
I couldn't
That was
keep-
about next week. Next week's a fiasco.
I was so confused. I literally, I sent you the
we'll
gift,
get
and
through
I'm
next
like,
week.
I'm so lost, but I'm
This
excited.
This week was fine. Next week's a fiasco.
No worries.
Okay.
No worries.
All
But
right.
you know, I've been fired 10 times already as program director. Might as well be 11. You know, and make it even Baker's dozen, whatever. I don't
Oh,
know.
Baker's dozen.
Stop.
Why don't you DoorDash that?
DoorDash.
Oh my,
All right.
I DoorDashed fat cats last night for dinner.
Oh my God. All the way from Norwich.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So everybody have a good, safe day out there. Enjoy the sunshine. I think it's supposed to be in the upper 70s, and hopefully it's not humid. I still got a lot of deck work to do.
adios.
But have a good day.
See ya.
See you Thursday.
Wednesday. No, Thursday. Thursday.
Thursday.